What happens when a small island that was once one of the richest places on Earth becomes nearly forgotten, now facing the highest obesity rates globally and using its airport runway as a makeshift track for daily exercise? Nauru, officially the least visited country in the world, carries a remarkable story of immense wealth, environmental devastation, and a culture deeply influenced by unforeseen changes. Could this remote island, with its turbulent history, hold some of the world's most powerful lessons on sustainability and survival? Stay with us as we explore Nauru's extraordinary journey. Nauru, a tiny island nation in the Pacific, is known for more than just its size or location. This small country has a unique charm, especially when it comes to its people and their deep cultural heritage. Let's talk about the women of Nauru. There's something truly captivating about their natural beauty, which reflects the rich history and culture of this island. With warm brown skin, expressive dark eyes, and a gentle demeanor, their appearance radiates the community spirit and hospitality that Nauru is famous for. In a world where beauty standards can often seem the same no matter where you go, Nauruan women proudly stand out with their distinct features. Traditional attire plays a significant role in their cultural expression. One of the most iconic garments is made from palm leaves. Adorned with shells and vibrant patterns, these garments are often seen during cultural dances and celebrations. Imagine watching a group of women performing traditional dances, moving gracefully in these stunning outfits. What a way to experience the essence of Nauru. But what really sets this island apart isn't just the visual beauty, it's the warmth and friendliness of the people. Nauru is known for its close-knit community, where both strangers and friends are welcomed with open arms. This hospitality isn't just a claim, it's backed by a year 2024 report from the Pacific Islands Forum, which highlighted that nearly 90% of visitors felt extremely welcome during their stay. That's a striking number, isn't it? If you're ever lucky enough to be on the island during a local festival or celebration, expect more than just a good time. Families often invite visitors to join in on the festivities, offering home-cooked meals and sharing stories about life on Nauru. The sense of belonging you'll feel is something rare and unforgettable. So what do you think? Does Nauru's small size and isolation hide a deeper, more meaningful experience than most travelers realize? Could this island be one of the friendliest places you've never heard of? Let us know in the comments below. Did you know that nearly 71% of its population is classified as obese? This gives Nauru the highest obesity rate on the planet. As you walk the streets, visit the markets, or stop by a restaurant, it's evident that many people here are struggling with obesity, a problem so widespread that it's often compared to an epidemic. But what led to this crisis? Well, it's closely tied to the collapse of Nauru's once booming phosphate industry. Decades ago, the island was among the wealthiest countries in the world per person. However, as phosphate resources dwindled, so did the wealth. Today, Nauru relies heavily on imported, low-cost processed foods like instant noodles, canned meats, and sugary beverages. These unhealthy options have become dietary staples, contributing significantly to the obesity problem. On top of that, most of Nauru's land has been destroyed by phosphate mining, rendering it unsuitable for agriculture. With little to no local food production, residents are left depending on these unhealthy imports. There's also a deep-rooted cultural belief that being overweight is a symbol of wealth and prosperity, which only worsens the situation. Combine that with a largely sedentary lifestyle, and it's no wonder that obesity has skyrocketed. In fact, around 40% of the population suffers from type 2 diabetes, giving Nauru the highest diabetes rate in the world. The situation has become so dire that the government is looking for creative ways to promote physical activity. One of the more unusual solutions? Residents now walk daily around the island's airport runway. With limited open spaces, Nauru is only about 8 square miles. The runway provides a rare flat stretch where locals can get some exercise. It might sound strange, but on an island with such limited land, this has become a practical way to address the health crisis. Imagine seeing locals turning their airport into a daily fitness routine, walking the very runway used for flights. This runway walking practice is just part of the government's broader efforts to encourage physical activity and curb the island's growing health problems. For an island that's only about 4 miles wide and 5 miles long, it can feel quite confined. But in these small, everyday acts, Nauruans are doing what they can to reclaim their health. Before we continue, I have a special 10-second request for all of you listening. If you can help me in any way, just press the notification bell and hit that subscribe button. It means the world. It really supports this channel. And if you do that for me, I promise my team and I will do everything we can to make this show even better for you. Deal? Nauru's story is not just one of environmental destruction and public health issues, it also includes a dark chapter in its economic history. What do you do when your country's main resource is running out and your economy is on the verge of collapse? In the 1990s, Nauru found itself facing this exact situation as its once abundant phosphate reserves were drying up. But instead of finding a traditional solution, the island took an unconventional and controversial route: offshore banking and passport sales. Nauru registered over 400 offshore banks, many of which operated with little to no regulation. Here's the twist. Many of these banks existed only on paper. They didn't even need to set foot on the island. This lack of oversight made Nauru an attractive hub for illegal financial activities, including the movement of dirty money. In fact, Russian criminals are believed to have laundered billions of dollars through Nauru's shell banks during this period. But the economic strategies didn't stop there. Nauru also began selling passports, offering citizenship to individuals looking for visa-free travel or tax advantages. However, these passports also attracted individuals with much darker intentions, including terrorism suspects, which quickly raised global alarm. The United States, concerned about these practices being exploited by criminal organizations, applied significant pressure on Nauru to put an end to both its offshore banking operations and passport sales. By the year 2003, Nauru, facing the threat of serious financial sanctions, revoked many of its offshore banking licenses. However, the damage to its reputation was already done. Many international banks distanced themselves from the country, isolating Nauru even further from the global financial system. This dramatic period in Nauru's history left long-lasting scars on the island's economy and reputation. So, how does a country like Nauru recover from such a significant fall from grace? And what does the future hold for this tiny, isolated island nation? Stay tuned for more interesting things about this country. Corruption surged, money laundering became rampant, and climate change battered the island's already struggling fishing industry. The result? A nation where unemployment skyrocketed to nearly 80% and the land was left barren. The crisis seemed unending. In a desperate attempt to avoid total collapse, Nauru was approached by Australia in the year 2001 with a controversial proposal to turn the island into a processing center for refugees trying to reach Australian shores. With no viable alternatives and bankruptcy looming, Nauru accepted. This led to the establishment of the Nauru Regional Processing Center, where asylum seekers arriving in Australia by boat were sent to live in overcrowded, harsh conditions. Reports of abuse and human rights violations soon followed. The situation became so dire that the International Criminal Court labeled the conditions illegal, and international organizations like the United Nations and Amnesty International condemned the practices. In an attempt to quiet the criticism, the Nauruan government took notable actions. In the year 2015, they even temporarily banned Facebook, claiming they were protecting residents from inappropriate content, though many believe the real motive was to silence whistleblowers and conceal the truth about what was happening at the processing center. If you've ever wondered why it's so difficult to obtain a visa to visit Nauru, this might give you a clue. The island seems intent on keeping outsiders in the dark about its troubling reality. To add to this bleak picture, Nauru only abolished the death penalty as recently as the year 2016, reflecting the enduring tension and strict policies that define everyday life on the island. Visiting Nauru is truly a unique adventure, but reaching this remote island is anything but simple. If you're thinking about traveling here, there's only one way to arrive: Nauru International Airport, serviced by Nauru Airlines. And guess what? There's just one weekly flight from Brisbane, Australia. This means travelers need to plan their journey carefully. Before you even step on that plane, though, you'll need to secure a visa, which costs $100. And here's the catch. You can only do this at one of 10 consulates or embassies around the world. So travel preparations are serious business. When you finally touch down on this isolated Pacific island, you'll soon notice that accommodations are far from plentiful. In fact, there are only 4 hotels on the entire island. The Menin Hotel stands out as the largest, but keep your expectations in check. This isn't a luxury destination. Yes, the ocean views are beautiful, but Nauru's charm lies in its simplicity. Don't expect 5-star resorts or all-inclusive packages here. Getting around is another challenge. With no public transportation and a limited number of rental cars, you'll be shelling out between $60 and $100 per day if you're lucky enough to snag one. But be aware that tourist services are almost non-existent. Most visitors aren't tourists at all, they're diplomats, politicians, or development workers. Living expenses can also add up quickly. Aside from the $100 visa fee, meals range from $15 to $25, and essentials like bottled water can cost anywhere between $2 to $4. So how does this tiny island sustain such a costly lifestyle? What's your take? Would you be willing to visit one of the most remote and least visited places on Earth? Let us know in the comments below. Nauru is a place where nature truly takes center stage, with untouched beaches and vibrant coral reefs drawing snorkeling lovers from all around. The island's coastline stretches just under 20 miles, and with over 7 miles of coral reefs surrounding it, you're never far from crystal clear waters brimming with marine life. Did you know that nearly 90% of the island is bordered by these reefs? They provide a thriving habitat for sea life, making Nauru a must-see for anyone passionate about ocean exploration. In fact, Nauru's coral reefs are considered some of the best preserved ecosystems in the Pacific. A year 2024 study revealed that more than 300 species of fish and 100 species of coral thrive here, virtually untouched by human impact. And if snorkeling isn't enough for you, how about fishing? The waters around Nauru are famous for species like tuna and marlin, making it a hotspot for both local fishermen and visitors looking for a more adventurous experience. Prefer to stay on land? Nauru's remote beaches are perfect for those in search of peace and relaxation, with soft sands and a quiet atmosphere that's hard to find elsewhere. For the more adventurous traveler, hiking across the rugged limestone peaks offers a dramatic view of the inland landscape. This rocky terrain stands in stark contrast to the calm, turquoise coastline. Nauru may be small, but it's full of contrasts and natural wonders that make it worth exploring. What kind of adventure would you choose on this island, exploring the underwater world or trekking its rugged peaks? Let us know in the comments below. Have you ever wondered how a tiny island nation could once rival the wealth of the richest countries on Earth? It may sound surprising, but the Pacific island of Nauru did just that, and it was all thanks to bird droppings, known as guano. You might be asking, how could guano make an entire nation rich? Well, for thousands of years, seabirds lived on Nauru, leaving behind massive layers of droppings. Over time, these accumulated into nutrient-rich phosphate, a crucial ingredient in fertilizers used to boost global agricultural production. Can you believe that about 80% of Nauru's land was covered in this material, with layers as thick as 33 feet in some places? The phosphate ore buried there became known as white gold due to its immense value. By the early 1970s, Nauru regained full control over its phosphate mining operations and ramped up production to 1 million tons per year. This tiny island nation began exporting valuable resources around the world, and by the mid-70s, Nauru had become one of the richest countries on the planet. Just to put it in perspective, in the year 1975, Nauru's gross domestic product per capita soared to $50,000 US. Meanwhile, in the United States, the figure was only $7,600, meaning Nauru's GDP per capita was about 6.5 times higher. With this wealth, Nauru invested heavily in real estate, particularly in Australia, and even owned properties as far away as a theater in London. There were also rumors circulating about hidden treasures being buried on the island during this prosperous period, but as of today, these remain unverified stories. It's fascinating how a tiny island with such a unique resource could rise to such economic heights, isn't it? But as we'll explore, Nauru's fortunes took a dramatic turn, so stay tuned for the rest of this incredible story. Recently, this country marked its 56th Independence Day in the year 2024 with grand celebrations. The festivities, filled with vibrant parades and cultural performances, might seem like a joyful occasion. But underneath the colorful displays lies a country struggling to survive in the face of severe economic hardship. So what exactly is happening in Nauru, and how did this once prosperous nation end up in such a dire state? President David Adiang, during his speech, highlighted the country's strength and resilience, a message that resonates with many Nauruans who continue to face a harsh reality. The island's once thriving economy was built on phosphate mining, a resource that brought significant wealth in the past. But now, those phosphate reserves are nearly exhausted, and the island is left grappling with the aftermath. 90% of Nauru's land has been left barren, stripped away by decades of mining. What's left behind is a desolate landscape and a collapsed economy. For a country with a population of just about 10,000 people, the depletion of phosphate has had catastrophic consequences. High unemployment rates, widespread poverty, and a heavy reliance on foreign aid have become the norm. To generate revenue, Nauru has taken controversial steps such as hosting offshore detention centers for asylum seekers from Australia. This move has brought in much-needed funds, but at what cost? Despite the celebrations, these events serve as a powerful reminder of the pressing challenges Nauru faces today. The country's achievements are overshadowed by economic instability, and its future remains uncertain. How long can a nation survive when its primary source of wealth has vanished? Will Nauru find a sustainable solution to its economic woes? As we reflect on Nauru's journey, it's important to remember that while the nation celebrates its independence, the struggles are far from over. Before modern times, the lives of Nauruans were deeply intertwined with the vast ocean surrounding their tiny island. Fishing was more than just a way to provide food, it was, and still is, a vital part of their cultural identity. What makes Nauruan fishing so unique? It's not just about casting nets into the sea. Traditional fishing ceremonies are complex, involving prayers, chants, and rituals that seek divine protection and good fortune for the fishermen. These traditions have been passed down from generation to generation, embodying Nauru's strong connection to the sea, its primary source of life and sustenance for centuries. And it doesn't stop there. Nauru's love for the ocean is also expressed through its tradition of canoe racing. Long ago, canoes were essential for survival, providing transportation and enabling the islanders to explore their surrounding waters. Today, this history lives on through boat races that are still held during local festivals and special occasions. Picture this: small, hand-carved wooden boats, each representing generations of craftsmanship, racing along Nauru's coastline in fierce competition. What might look like simple fun is, in reality, a powerful reminder of the island's deep-rooted maritime culture. These vibrant events showcase how Nauru balances its ancient traditions with modern adaptations. For the few visitors who venture to this remote island, it's an unexpected discovery, proof that despite the economic hardships and environmental changes, the spirit of Nauru's past is alive and well. So what do you think? Could these age-old customs be the key to understanding Nauru beyond its well-known struggles? Let us know your thoughts. Nauru is not just one of the smallest countries on the planet, it's also one of the most unique in ways that might surprise you. Did you know that Nauru has no official capital city? While most countries designate a single city, or sometimes even two or three, like Bolivia or South Africa, as their capital, Nauru does things a bit differently. So how does a country function without capital? Well, the answer lies in Yaren, a district located on the southern coast of this tiny island. It serves as the de facto capital, even though it's not officially recognized as one. This is where you'll find the parliament, embassies from countries such as Taiwan and Australia, and the island's only international airport. But calling Yarn a city would be a bit misleading. It's more of an administrative hub, lacking the typical structure or feel of a bustling capital city. But why does Nauru take this unconventional approach? Could it be a reflection of the island's simplicity or perhaps the result of its small population? Either way, Nauru's lack of a formal capital is just one of the many things that set this tiny island apart from the rest of the world. Nauru's story serves as a stark reminder of what happens when a nation's wealth is built on fragile foundations. In the 1970s, this small island in the Pacific was one of the wealthiest countries in the world, thanks to its vast phosphate reserves. Phosphate, a key ingredient in fertilizers, made Nauru flush with cash. But today, the island faces not only economic collapse but also environmental devastation. What happened to this island, once swimming in luxury? The phosphate that made Nauru rich eventually ran out, and with no backup plan in place, the economy crumbled. The environmental cost. Stripping the land for mining left the island's landscape scarred and barren, making it almost impossible to farm or develop other industries. But what about the people of Nauru? The wealth from phosphate didn't just shape the land, it shaped the culture. In the 1970s, Nauru's high incomes led to a lifestyle of convenience and complacency. Hard work and education took a back seat. Why bother planning for the future when money seemed endless? And now what's left? Nauru faces one of the highest obesity rates in the world, with over 80% of adults classified as obese. That's more than 4 in 5 people. The island's shift from self-sustenance to a heavy reliance on imported, processed food has had a severe impact on public health. So what can we learn from Nauru? It's not just a cautionary tale for small island nations, it's a wake-up call for the entire world. The pursuit of short-term profits at the expense of long-term sustainability can lead to disaster, environmentally, economically, and socially. Nauru's story underscores the importance of sustainable development, forward planning, and education. Without these, even the wealthiest of nations can find themselves on a path to ruin. The lessons from Nauru's collapse, about the dangers of ignoring long-term consequences, should not be lost on us. If we don't heed them, we could see similar outcomes play out on a much larger scale across the globe. So, as we reflect on Nauru's rise and fall, we must ask ourselves, how can we avoid making the same mistakes? How can we ensure our own societies are built on sustainable foundations rather than the illusion of endless wealth? If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that appears on your screen right now. I'm sure you'll love this content. Comment below about the next country you'd like to see featured on our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Imagine a piece of land so tiny that it could fit on less than half a football field. Yet, compared to the world's most crowded cities, this little island holds one of the highest population densities on Earth. Now picture this island not only being contested by 2 countries, but also bearing a history shrouded in mysteries, ghostly legends, and a population struggling with conditions beyond what most people can fathom. Maigino Island, where chaos seems to be the rule of life. Here, the daily challenges are staggering, from extreme poverty to territorial disputes, while whispers of pirates and spirits linger in the air. This is life on Maigino, an island of untold stories and unimaginable hardship. The island is a dense labyrinth of metal shacks. There are no streets, squares, or green spaces. Life unfolds in narrow, dimly lit corridors where privacy is a luxury no one can afford. The houses, constructed from iron sheets, lack bathrooms, so residents must use Lake Victoria for bathing. The lake also serves as the solution for sanitation, with different sides of the island designated for men's and women's hygiene. It's a chaotic system, but it works. With no stable electricity, internet, or television, residents spend their free time in one of the island's 5 bars. Despite the cramped conditions, there are hotels on the island, and an informal economy thrives alongside the fishing industry. Small tailor shops, makeshift beauty salons, and even pharmacies are essential to daily life, providing services that would otherwise require a trip to the mainland. However, for more serious medical issues, residents must travel to the mainland, as the island lacks sufficient healthcare infrastructure. Maigingo is home to 14 brothels alongside bars that openly sell alcohol and soft drugs. Despite the political tensions and difficult living conditions, the island has piqued the interest of adventurous tourists. Maigingo has become an unusual destination, drawing visitors eager to experience its unique history and vibrant daily life. Remarkably, despite the ongoing territorial dispute, Kenyans and Ugandans coexist peacefully in the island's narrow walkways. They often come together to cook the island's staple dish, fish and potatoes. This peaceful coexistence stands in stark contrast to the political battles playing out behind the scenes. Maigingo has its justice system. With no clear central authority, the residents have developed their own set of rules to resolve conflicts. Disputes, inevitable in such close quarters, are settled in community meetings where everyone has a say, and decisions are made by consensus. The outcome is an astonishingly low crime rate. Since the year 1991, only 6 cases of robbery have been reported. The punishments are unique as well. Minor thefts are punished with straw whippings, while more serious crimes result in permanent exile from the island. Despite these challenges, the residents of Maigingo are united by their sheer will to survive. The close quarters, while difficult, have fostered a strong sense of community. Everyone knows each other, news spreads rapidly, and solidarity is essential to navigate daily hardships. Maigingo Island is home to an overwhelming gender imbalance, with roughly 9 out of every 10 residents being men. This stark disparity is primarily due to the island's main economic activity, fishing, especially for Nile perch, a physically demanding and dangerous occupation traditionally dominated by men. The island's harsh living conditions, including the lack of basic services like healthcare and education, make it an unattractive location for women and families to settle. Social and cultural factors also play a role in this imbalance. Maigingo's tough environment, coupled with ongoing territorial disputes between Kenya and Uganda, further discourages women from living there. The gender imbalance has profound social consequences, contributing to unstable relationships, transactional partnerships, and issues like alcohol abuse and violence. These problems stem from the absence of women in traditional family structures. But amidst the daily struggle for survival in Maigingo, there's an eerie mystery just across the water that keeps people clinging to this overcrowded island rather than seeking refuge on the deserted shores of Uzingo. Stay tuned. What's even more striking is that just 200 meters from Maigingo lies another island called Uzingo. It's much larger but remains virtually unknown, home only to a few families and scientists who use it as a base for research on Lake Victoria's wildlife. So why doesn't anyone want to move there? It's said that the same evil spirit that supposedly haunted Maigingo has now taken up residence on Uzingo, driving away its few inhabitants. This has led people to choose the crowded, chaotic life on Maigingo over the haunted solitude of Uzingo. Before we continue, I have a special 10-second request for all of you listening. If you can help me out in any way, just hit that subscribe button. It means the world. It really supports this channel a lot. And if you do that for me, I promise my team and I will do everything we can to make the show even better for you. Do we have a deal? Despite the cramped and inadequate living conditions, people from the surrounding region continue to flock to Maigingo. Even though new construction is officially prohibited, the population keeps growing, fueled by both new arrivals and births on the island. This overcrowding is a significant threat to the future and well-being of Maigingo's residents. The ongoing territorial dispute between Uganda and Kenya remains unresolved, leaving the island's inhabitants in a state of uncertainty, unsure whether they belong to Kenya or Uganda. However, the challenges facing Maigingo go beyond the territorial conflict. The island is also grappling with severe environmental issues. Overfishing is becoming an increasingly urgent problem, and climate change is altering the conditions of Lake Victoria, making fishing more unpredictable. The degradation of the lake's aquatic ecosystems threatens the sustainability of fishing, which is the backbone of Maigingo's economy. Without efforts to protect these natural resources, Maigingo risks losing its primary source of income. Overcrowding presents another serious challenge. With so little space and so many people, living conditions are extremely difficult. The island lacks basic infrastructure, including reliable water and sanitation systems, leading to frequent public health issues, such as outbreaks of waterborne diseases. The situation is further exacerbated by the lack of adequate healthcare services, leaving residents vulnerable without access to necessary medical treatment. Amidst the pressing environmental challenges and overcrowding on Maigingo, the stark barrenness of the island stands as a testament to the relentless pursuit of survival, leaving no room for nature to take root. Maigingo Island is barren, with no natural vegetation, and there are several reasons why. First, the island is incredibly small, covering only about 2,000 square meters. With such limited space and a dense population, almost every inch of land is used for housing and fishing infrastructure, leaving no room for plant life. Any vegetation that might have once existed was likely cleared to make way for the bustling human activity. The island's rocky terrain and lack of fertile soil also make it difficult for plants to grow. The primary focus of the island's residents is on fishing and trade, with little attention paid to environmental management, which further contributes to the island's barren landscape. To reach Migingo, you must traverse the vast waters of Lake Victoria, the largest lake in Africa, and the second largest freshwater lake in the world, covering an impressive 69,000 square kilometers. Lake Victoria is a lifeline for millions in the surrounding countries Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania. Amidst this expansive body of water lies Migingo, a tiny rocky island occupying less than half a hectare. Despite its minuscule size, Migingo plays a crucial role in the region due to its location in fish-rich waters, making it a highly coveted spot among local fishermen. Migingo wasn't always the bustling hub it is today. Before becoming one of the most densely populated places on the planet, it was largely overlooked, a mere speck in Lake Victoria. There are tales that the island was once believed to be cursed, home to an evil spirit that kept people away. But as time passed, necessity overpowered fear. In the 1990s, pioneering fishermen discovered the island's real treasure, an incredible abundance of fish. This discovery quickly transformed the forgotten islet into a refuge for those seeking a better life. Fishermen from Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania flocked to Migingo, turning it into a cultural melting pot. Some were escaping conflicts, while others were in search of new opportunities to thrive. Yet, the treasure that drew so many to this tiny island also sparked a conflict that would turn Migingo into one of the most contested and dangerous places in Africa. The island, once shrouded in legend, found itself at the heart of a geopolitical dispute. The thriving fishing industry on Migingo has drawn not only the attention of neighboring countries but also pirates from the region. As Migingo began to develop, piracy became a frequent threat, with violence erupting even in broad daylight. Faced with this constant danger, the fishermen of Migingo sought help from Kenya and Uganda. In the year 2004, the Ugandan Coast Guard established a presence on the island, promising protection. However, this security came with a cost. The residents, accustomed to living freely, were now faced with imposed demands. Their refusal to comply sparked a violent backlash. Clashes between the Kenyan and Ugandan authorities and the island's inhabitants led to destruction, deaths, and the disruption of fishing activities. The situation was further complicated by internal divisions within the community, with Kenyans and Ugandans each defending their rights. This volatile mix of internal and external conflicts earned Migingo the nickname the smallest war in Africa. Unfortunately, this silent conflict continues to this day as Uganda maintains its claim to sovereignty over Migingo, with both countries arguing over the proximity of borders fueling the territorial dispute. This ongoing conflict, driven by the island's valuable fishing resources and complex social dynamics, shows no signs of resolution. At the root of this confusion is colonialism. The dispute over Migingo reflects the ill-defined borders drawn by European powers in the late 19th century, when they divided the African continent with little regard for the geographic and cultural realities of local communities. This legacy of uncertainty and conflict is evident in the case of Migingo, where the question of ownership remains unresolved. The maritime borders between Uganda and Kenya in this region have never been established. Uganda claims sovereignty based on geographic proximity, while Kenya relies on historical records. In the year 2009, the conflict escalated when Uganda deployed security forces to Migingo, claiming to protect its citizens and interests. Kenya saw this as an invasion, heightening diplomatic tensions. Fortunately, war was averted. The two countries reached an informal agreement to share administration of the island and maintain security forces on site while negotiations over the border continue. However, this truce is fragile. The absence of a definitive agreement keeps the situation tense, with Kenya and Uganda both interfering in fishing operations and tax collection on Migingo. Despite the ongoing political tension and the lack of a final resolution, life on Migingo goes on, driven by the lucrative fishing industry. The Nile perch, increasingly scarce in Lake Victoria, fetches high prices on the international market. It's no surprise that both Kenya and Uganda want a piece of this profitable industry, even if it means keeping the community in a state of uncertainty. What do you think would happen to the people of Migingo if the island's fishing industry collapsed or if a definitive border agreement was finally reached? Let us know in the comments below. You might be asking yourself, is all this conflict really over fish in a tiny fishing village? The answer is a resounding yes. But it's not just about the fish, it's about a multi-million-dollar industry. While fishing communities around Lake Victoria are grappling with a severe crisis due to overfishing and the invasion of harmful plant species that are decimating fish populations, Migingo stands out as a beacon of prosperity. The deep waters surrounding the island still teem with valuable species like the highly sought-after Nile perch, making Magingo a crucial hub for East Africa's fishing economy. The fish exports from this tiny island generate millions of dollars, making it an economic powerhouse in the region. To put this into perspective, in just 1 week, fishermen on Magingo can earn nearly 3 times what workers on the mainland make in an entire month. This is all thanks to the Nile perch, a fish prized for its rich fat content and high demand on the international market. The discovery of this aquatic gold transformed Magingo. Makeshift structures of wood and metal quickly filled the island, housing a rapidly growing population of fishermen and traders. Before long, every inch of land was occupied, creating a dense and chaotic urban environment. Life on Magingo is an intense experience, with approximately 500 people crammed into less than half a hectare. The population density is staggering, about 100,000 people per square kilometer. It's as if an entire city was squeezed onto a football field, a scenario unheard of anywhere else in the world. Beyond the wealth generated from fishing, Magingo also benefits from its unique location. The island operates in a sort of legal and bureaucratic vacuum. People can move in and out freely without needing a visa, and trade flows with minimal restrictions. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to our channel GlobeGo. Your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that's appearing on your screen right now. I'm sure you'll love the content. Comment below on the next country you'd like to see featured on our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Have you ever wondered about living in a place where the air you breathe is so harmful? It takes over 1 million lives every single year. Take the United Arab Emirates, for example, a country with a thriving economy, but at a staggering cost of nearly 2,000 lives lost annually due to air pollution. These aren't just statistics, these are real people, and the situation is only becoming more dire. But which country tops the list as the most polluted? Stick around as we uncover the harsh truths about the 15 most polluted countries in the world. 1. India. India is facing a severe pollution crisis, making it one of the dirtiest countries in the world. The air pollution, especially in cities like Delhi, is alarming, with PM 2.5 levels in the year 2023 reaching 54.4 micrograms per cubic meter, nearly 11 times above the World Health Organization's safe limit. This extreme pollution contributes to over 7% of deaths in major urban areas. Key factors include vehicular emissions, industrial activities, and extensive use of firewood, with India consuming 148.5 million tons of biomass annually, 10 times more than the United States. Inefficient stoves and low-speed traffic further worsen air quality. India's planned 50% increase in coal power by the year 2030 could lead to 844,000 premature deaths. The inefficiency of vehicles operating at low speeds also contributes significantly to air pollution. In India, where average speeds on congested roads often fall below 12 miles per hour, vehicle emissions can be 4 to 8 times higher than in areas with smoother traffic flow. Beyond air pollution, water contamination is a critical issue. The Ganges and other rivers are heavily polluted with industrial waste and plastics, making India a top contributor to global ocean pollution. With nearly 277 million tons of solid waste generated each year, India's overwhelmed waste management system struggles to cope, leading to widespread environmental degradation. While India's pollution crisis grabs global headlines, just across its northern border, Nepal is quietly grappling with an equally alarming environmental disaster that could have devastating consequences for both its people and the breathtaking landscapes that define the nation. 2. Nepal. Nepal, a country renowned for the breathtaking beauty of the Himalayas, is facing an alarming environmental crisis that threatens its people and natural landscapes. The capital, Kathmandu, frequently ranks among the most polluted cities in the world. Kathmandu's air quality is in a dire state, with PM 2.5 levels, a measure of dangerous particulate matter often exceeding 10 times the safe limit recommended by the World Health Organization. This hazardous level of pollution is primarily driven by a combination of vehicular emissions, industrial activities, and the widespread burning of biomass. Every year, more than 42,000 Nepalis lose their lives to illnesses caused by air pollution, such as respiratory and cardiovascular diseases. The economic impact is equally devastating, with the country losing an amount equivalent to 4.5% of its gross domestic product, primarily due to healthcare costs related to pollution. Over the past few years, the city's population density has surged, leading to a sharp increase in the number of vehicles on the roads. This rise in traffic, combined with extensive construction and industrial activities, has turned Kathmandu into a city choked with dust and noise. The numerous infrastructure projects underway, characterized by excavated roads, brick kilns spewing dust, and heaps of construction materials, have significantly deteriorated air quality and marred the city's aesthetic appeal. Beyond the immediate health risks, this toxic air poses a serious threat to Nepal's natural beauty and biodiversity, jeopardizing the very essence of what makes the country unique. The urgency to address this environmental crisis cannot be overstated, as the consequences of inaction could be catastrophic for both the environment and the people of Nepal. How do you think the rising pollution in Kathmandu is impacting Nepal's tourism, especially given its reputation for stunning natural beauty? Share your thoughts in the comments below. 3. Tajikistan. Over the past 10 years, the air quality in Tajikistan has plummeted. Harmful emissions have nearly doubled, largely due to increased vehicle exhaust and industrial activities. This alarming rise in pollution has cut the average life expectancy by over a year, specifically by 1.3 years, making Tajikistan the most affected country in Central Asia. In the year 2023, the country's PM2.5 level hit a shocking 49, which is almost 10 times the safe limit recommended by the World Health Organization. One of the major culprits here is traffic pollution. Vehicle emissions have skyrocketed over the last decade, jumping from 340,000 tons annually to a staggering 540,000 tons. This massive increase has not only polluted the air but has also contributed to a significant public health crisis. But the air isn't the only thing under threat. Industrial pollution has severely contaminated water sources, making them undrinkable and damaging vital aquatic ecosystems. Tajikistan generates nearly 2 million tons of waste every year, much of which is mismanaged, contributing to widespread environmental degradation. The situation is further complicated by the country's reliance on thermal power plants to meet its electricity needs. Take, for example, the Dushanbe 2 power plant, the largest in the country. This plant burns up to 6,000 tons of coal every single day, supplying 60% of the capital's electricity. However, this comes at a cost, as the plant emits a significant amount of harmful pollutants into the environment. Adding to the pollution, Dushanbe is home to heavy industries, including cement factories that contribute to the city's deteriorating air quality. For instance, the Dushanbe cement plant alone produces 180,000 tons of cement annually and burns up to 72,000 tons of coal. Before we continue, I have a 10-second request for all of you. If you can help us out, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot to us. In return, we promise to keep making this show even better for you. Deal? 4. United Arab Emirates. In the United Arab Emirates, the air quality crisis has reached alarming levels. The PM2.5 concentration has soared to an astonishing 43, which is well beyond the safe threshold set by international health standards. Tragically, this hazardous air quality is linked to nearly 1,900 deaths each year, a significant number given that the country's population is just over 10 million. A majority of these victims are migrant workers who spend most of their time outdoors, making them particularly vulnerable. The UAE's environmental challenges are further compounded by its heavy reliance on fossil fuels. In the year 2021, the nation's carbon dioxide emissions were a staggering 234 million tons, positioning the UAE as one of the world's top contributors to climate change. This is further exacerbated by the country's extensive use of desalination plants to meet its freshwater needs. While these plants are essential due to the UAE's arid climate, they contribute to both air and water pollution, with significant negative impacts on marine life and air quality. Vehicular emissions, industrial activities, and the energy-intensive infrastructure required to support the country's growing population are the primary drivers behind these elevated pollution levels. Despite the UAE's ambitious plans to invest $163 billion in renewable energy and its role as the host of the COP28 climate conference, the path to a cleaner environment remains steep. The scale of environmental degradation is a formidable challenge, requiring not just national efforts but also international collaboration to strike a balance between the UAE's economic ambitions and the pressing need for environmental stewardship. 5. Pakistan. Pakistan is facing a severe pollution crisis, particularly in cities like Lahore, Faisalabad, and Karachi. In the year 2023, Lahore's air pollution reached dangerous levels, with PM 2.5 concentrations nearly 20 times higher than the World Health Organization's safe limit. The air quality index in these cities often exceeds 300, posing serious health risks. Outdated vehicles, industrial emissions, and agricultural burning are major contributors to this toxic air. The health impact is staggering, with nearly 128,000 deaths each year due to pollution-related illnesses like respiratory and cardiovascular diseases. Water pollution adds to the crisis, with 60% of the population lacking access to safe drinking water, leading to widespread disease. The situation is so dire that Islamabad now ranks among the top 10 most polluted capitals in the world. This pollution not only deteriorates the quality of life, but also significantly shortens the lifespan of those living in Pakistan's major cities. As Pakistan battles its escalating pollution crisis with alarming health consequences, Indonesia, thousands of miles away, is contending with its own environmental catastrophe, where rapid deforestation and toxic air are pushing the nation toward a tipping point that could impact the entire planet. 6. Indonesia. Indonesia is the third largest emitter of greenhouse gases, largely due to its rapid deforestation. Every year, it loses nearly 2 million hectares of forest, driven by palm oil expansion and illegal logging. This not only harms local ecosystems but also contributes significantly to global climate change. Air pollution in Indonesia is a major concern, with PM 2.5 levels far above safe limits. According to the Global Health Project, air pollution causes around 232,000 deaths annually in the country. This includes thousands of deaths from water pollution, occupational hazards, and lead exposure, primarily from traffic and industrial emissions. Indonesia is also the second largest contributor to marine plastic pollution, dumping over 600,000 tons of plastic into the oceans each year. Unfortunately, the country's waste management is inadequate, with less than 5% of waste being recycled. In response, the Indonesian government is promoting public transportation and aims to have 530,000 electric vehicles on the road by the year 2030. While these efforts are promising, the environmental challenges Indonesia faces are immense and require urgent action. 7. Egypt. Egypt, known for its ancient wonders, now faces severe environmental challenges. The country's air quality has reached dangerous levels, with the PM 2.5 index averaging over 42, leading to serious health issues. Nearly 2 million Egyptians seek treatment for respiratory problems linked to air pollution each year, and life expectancy has dropped by up to 2 years due to the toxic air. In the year 2019 alone, around 9,559 people died prematurely from air pollution. Cairo, the capital, is particularly affected, with pollution levels exceeding WHO safety limits by 14 times, driven by traffic, old vehicles, industrial emissions, and agricultural burning. This results in approximately 18,000 premature deaths in the city each year, contributing to over 40,000 deaths nationwide. The economic cost is staggering, with the Greater Cairo area spending about $1.5 billion on pollution-related healthcare from the year 2016 to the year 2017. Nationally, costs exceeded $2.5 billion by the year 2018. Adding to the crisis, the Nile River, Egypt's vital water source, is heavily polluted with industrial waste and untreated sewage, threatening millions who rely on it. Despite efforts to manage hazardous waste, pollution remains a critical issue. Egypt is working to combat these challenges by controlling industrial emissions and promoting clean fuel vehicles, but the road ahead is daunting. 8. Iraq. As of the year 2024, Iraq ranks among the top in global pollution, largely due to extremely high levels of fine particulate matter, known as PM 2.5. To put it in perspective, the World Health Organization recommends a limit of 10 micrograms per cubic meter, but in the year 2022, Iraq's levels soared to 80 micrograms, 16 times the safe limit. Although there was some improvement in the year 2023, with levels dropping to 44 micrograms, this is still more than 8 times higher than recommended. The main culprit is the oil industry, which, while vital for the economy, releases massive amounts of harmful pollutants during extraction, including methane and benzene. This industry accounts for 95% of Iraq's foreign exchange earnings but comes at a severe environmental cost. But the pollution doesn't stop with the air. Iraq also faces critical water pollution issues, particularly in the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, due to untreated industrial waste, agricultural runoff, and poor wastewater management. This contamination endangers both public health and agriculture. In response, the Iraqi government launched a tree planting initiative in the year 2023, aiming to plant 5 million trees to improve air quality and combat desertification. However, while this is a step in the right direction, the deeper issue remains pollution from oil extraction, which continues to harm Iraq's environment and its people. 9. Democratic Republic of the Congo. Despite its wealth of natural resources, the DRC faces severe environmental crises. The air quality is alarmingly poor, with PM 2.5 levels reaching over 40 micrograms per cubic meter, which is more than 8 times the safe limit set by the World Health Organization. This is largely due to over 90% of households relying on firewood and charcoal for cooking, which releases toxic gases and fine particles into the air. Tragically, this indoor air pollution is responsible for around 61,000 premature deaths every year. Deforestation is another major issue, driven by the need for fuel wood and charcoal, which account for 90% of the country's energy. This demand leads to the loss of hundreds of thousands of hectares of rainforest annually, contributing to global carbon emissions and threatening countless species. Illegal mining activities further devastate the land and pollute water sources, while ongoing conflicts in the eastern regions exacerbate environmental destruction, displacing over 5.5 million people. Efforts to address these issues have been hindered by weak governance and corruption. While the DRC enacted an environmental protection law in the year 2021, the aftermath of prolonged conflict has left institutions too weak to enforce it effectively. According to the United Nations Environment Program, the DRC needs around $200 million to tackle these environmental challenges and work towards sustainable development. 10. China. Despite some efforts to improve the environment, China's air pollution worsened in the year 2023, with PM 2.5 levels averaging 32.5 micrograms per cubic meter, over 6 times the UN's safe limit. This puts China 19th on the global list of most polluted countries. As the world's largest carbon dioxide emitter, China is responsible for over 32% of global emissions, contributing heavily to climate change. Urban centers like Shijiazhuang face dangerously high pollution levels, leading to an estimated 1.24 million premature deaths each year. Water pollution is equally dire, with over 70% of the water in major rivers unsafe for human contact, causing health risks and economic losses of about $1.5 trillion annually. Soil contamination affects 20% of urban soils, raising food safety concerns. China is also the largest producer of plastic waste, with much of it contributing to global pollution and marine ecosystem damage. China's environmental challenges, especially with its rising coal power plant approvals, threaten its goals to peak emissions by the year 2030 and achieve carbon neutrality by the year 2060. In recent years, China has even surpassed the United States in carbon dioxide emissions, highlighting the urgency of global action. While China's immense environmental challenges capture global attention, from its staggering air pollution to its role as the world's largest carbon emitter, Nigeria is quietly battling its own severe pollution crisis. Stay tuned. E11. Nigeria. Nigeria faces one of the most severe environmental pollution crises globally, a situation that poses immense risks to both public health and the nation's economy. The air pollution in Nigeria, particularly in its bustling cities, is among the highest in the world. Dangerous particulate matter, known as PM2.5, is found in concentrations that exceed safe limits by more than 10 times. This is largely due to heavy reliance on vehicles, industrial activities, and the widespread use of generators caused by unreliable electricity supplies. Shockingly, this polluted air is responsible for approximately 128,000 premature deaths every year. But the crisis doesn't stop with the air. Water pollution is another grave issue, especially in the Niger Delta region. Chronic oil spills have not only devastated local ecosystems but have also contaminated water supplies, making over 70% of Nigeria's surface water unsafe for human consumption. This has led to widespread health issues and crippled vital economic sectors like fishing and agriculture. The contaminated soil, particularly in oil spill-affected areas, further exacerbates food insecurity, rendering large portions of land barren and unusable. Adding to these challenges is Nigeria's inadequate waste management system. Poor handling of solid waste, especially plastics, is contributing to both land and marine pollution. As Nigeria continues to urbanize rapidly, with its population growing at an alarming rate, these environmental issues are only getting worse. The lack of effective regulation and enforcement makes it even more difficult to tackle these problems. 12. Sudan. As of the year 2024, Sudan's air pollution levels have reached dangerous heights, with particulate matter levels soaring to approximately 45 micrograms per cubic meter, which is nearly 9 times higher than the World Health Organization's recommended safe limit. This toxic air is not just a number, it's a significant contributor to widespread respiratory illnesses among the Sudanese population. But the environmental issues don't stop there. Water contamination is rampant across the country. Untreated industrial discharges and outdated sewage systems have left millions of Sudanese without access to clean drinking water. This situation is particularly dire given that safe water is a basic human need. Sudan's land is also under severe pressure. Rapid deforestation, excessive grazing, and unsustainable farming practices are causing widespread soil erosion and a troubling loss of biodiversity. This is not only a blow to the country's environmental health, but also to its agricultural productivity, which many Sudanese rely on for their livelihoods. To make matters worse, waste management systems in urban areas are almost non-existent. Uncollected solid waste is piling up, contaminating both the land and water bodies, creating a vicious cycle of environmental degradation. These environmental crises are further exacerbated by Sudan's ongoing political and economic instability. Without urgent intervention, the health and future of the Sudanese people are at great risk. However, there is hope. By adopting sustainable practices and enforcing stronger environmental policies, Sudan can start to turn the tide, ensuring a cleaner, healthier environment for its future generations. 13. Kuwait. Kuwait, often seen as a hub of wealth and modernity, is paradoxically one of the most polluted countries on the planet, largely due to its heavy reliance on the oil industry. Kuwait City finds itself ranked among the top 10 most polluted cities in the world and holds the unfortunate title of the most polluted city in the Arab world. The driving force behind this alarming status is the country's oil sector, which through the extraction, refining, and burning of fossil fuels, releases an overwhelming amount of harmful pollutants into the air. The air quality in Kuwait is severely compromised by substances such as particulate matter nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, and ozone. To put this into perspective, the average concentration of PM2.5 in Kuwait frequently exceeds 70 micrograms per cubic meter, a figure that starkly contrasts with the World Health Organization's recommended limit of 5 micrograms per cubic meter. This level of pollution is not just an environmental issue but a public health crisis, leading to increased rates of respiratory and cardiovascular diseases, higher mortality, and particularly severe effects on vulnerable groups like children and the elderly. The continued burning of fossil fuels for energy and industrial practices, including drilling and fracking, releases massive quantities of pollutants. Additionally, Kuwait's geographical location, which experiences frequent sandstorms, further deteriorates air quality by introducing large amounts of dust particles into the atmosphere. While the Kuwaiti government has made some attempts to explore renewable energy sources and implement emission control measures, these actions fall short due to the country's overwhelming dependence on oil. As Kuwait's wealth-driven oil industry thrusts the nation into the spotlight as one of the most polluted places on Earth, Bangladesh, though worlds apart in development, faces a similarly dire air quality crisis. 14. Bangladesh. Bangladesh is grappling with an alarming air pollution crisis, where the air quality has reached dangerous levels. The annual average concentration of fine particulate matter is a staggering 79.9 micrograms per cubic meter. This is nearly 16 times higher than the safety threshold set by the World Health Organization. In the bustling capital city of Dhaka, the Air Quality Index, or AQI, frequently hits very unhealthy levels, with readings often surpassing 200, far exceeding what the WHO considers safe. This toxic air isn't just a statistic, it's a deadly reality that claims the lives of over 235,000 people in Bangladesh each year. Tragically, children under the age of 5 are particularly vulnerable, with more than 19,000 young lives lost annually due to pollution-related illnesses like pneumonia and respiratory infections. The major contributors to this environmental catastrophe are clear: emissions from old and poorly maintained vehicles, industrial pollution from brick kilns that still rely on outdated technology, and the widespread use of biomass fuels in rural households. To make matters worse, pollution drifting in from neighboring countries further degrades the air quality, making Bangladesh's air among the most hazardous in the world. A report from the World Bank highlights the devastating impact of this pollution, estimating that around 272,000 deaths each year could be prevented if air quality, water sanitation, and exposure to harmful substances like lead were improved. Additionally, air pollution alone has shortened the average life expectancy in Bangladesh by nearly 7 years, a reduction far greater than that caused by smoking or malnutrition. Despite a rapid increase in per capita income, the air quality continues to worsen, largely due to the rising consumption of fossil fuels like oil, coal, and natural gas to meet the demands of the country's growing economy. 15. Afghanistan. Afghanistan is currently facing one of the most severe pollution crises on the planet, especially in its bustling urban areas like Kabul. The air quality here has reached alarming levels, with particulate matter concentrations skyrocketing to nearly 59 micrograms per cubic meter. That's over 11 times higher than what the World Health Organization considers safe. A significant factor causing this crisis is the roughly 1 million vehicles on Kabul streets, many of which run on low-quality fuel. Add to that the widespread use of diesel generators, a necessity due to the country's unreliable electricity supply, and the air becomes a toxic cocktail. But it doesn't stop there. Industrial activities, particularly the numerous brick kilns surrounding Kabul, are notorious for burning dangerous materials like old tires and used motor oil, spewing toxic chemicals into the air. In rural areas, the problem is compounded by the burning of wood and coal for cooking and heating, contributing to deadly levels of household pollution. Nearly 5,000 people lose their lives every year due to illnesses linked to air pollution, with respiratory diseases surging by a shocking 1,000% in recent years. While efforts like promoting the use of natural gas and LPG in vehicles have been introduced, they're just a drop in the ocean. To truly tackle this deeply rooted environmental disaster, Afghanistan needs urgent and comprehensive action to protect the health of its people and to restore its environment. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, GlobeGo, your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that's appearing on your screen right now. I'm sure you'll love the content. Comment below on the next country you'd like to see featured on our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Have you ever wondered what it's like to live in the coldest capital city on the planet, where winter temperatures can plunge to a staggering 42 degrees below zero? Imagine a society where women aren't just seen as equals, they're celebrated as warriors, known for their incredible strength and unshakable resilience. Join us as we explore the unique and fascinating traditions of Mongolia, where ancient shamanistic rituals, sky burials, and the art of hunting with eagles are still very much alive. Intrigued? Get ready to be captivated. Number 1. The coldest capital in the world. Ulaanbaatar, the capital of Mongolia, is nestled in a remote area in the northern part of central Mongolia. Covering an area of nearly 5,000 square kilometers, this city is home to approximately 1,446,000 people as of the year 2021, almost half of Mongolia's total population. Ulaanbaatar is not just the heart of Mongolia's culture, economy, and finance, but also a vital link between the Russian and Chinese railway systems. Contrary to the common perception of Mongolia as a land of endless steppes and deserts, Ulaanbaatar is a bustling metropolis, illuminated by vibrant lights at night. Located deep inland at an altitude of 1,350 meters above sea level and heavily influenced by Siberian high-pressure systems, the city experiences a cold, semi-arid climate. Summers are brief, while winters are long and harsh, with the annual temperature fluctuating dramatically. During the hottest summer days, temperatures can soar to 39 degrees Celsius, while in the dead of winter, they can plummet to as low as 36 to 42 degrees below zero. With an average annual temperature of -2 degrees Celsius, Ulaanbaatar holds the title of the coldest capital city in the world. The severe winter weather also brings about another challenge: serious air pollution. As residents rely on coal for heating, the city faces significant air quality issues during the colder months. Yet the story of Mongolia doesn't just stop with its harsh winters and bustling capital. It is also deeply intertwined with the enduring spirit of its people, particularly the women who have shaped the nation's history and continue to influence its modern society. Number 2. The role of women in Mongolian society. In the Chronicles of Mongolia, the nation is celebrated not only for its brave and majestic armies, but also for its resilient and strong women, who stand in stark contrast to the graceful beauties of neighboring China. Mongolia, a land of nomads, has long been a place where both men and women are trained from birth in the skills necessary to survive the harsh conditions of the steppe. In this rugged environment, gender roles blur as men and women alike master horseback riding and archery, essential for hunting and daily life. Mongolian women, in particular, are expected to be proficient in tasks traditionally considered men's work, such as building tents, tending to livestock, taming wild animals, and chopping firewood. This stems from the belief that if a man were to die unexpectedly, the woman must be capable of caring for the family and managing their livelihood. Historically, Mongolian women have enjoyed more autonomy and equality compared to their counterparts in other parts of Asia. Some women, known for their strength and hunting prowess, have even risen to the ranks of tribal leaders. This cultural norm has led many nomadic men in Mongolia to seek out strong and capable women as wives, valuing physical health and resilience over conventional beauty. However, modern Mongolian society has evolved significantly over time. Marriage today is no longer just a matter of practicality, it is based on love and mutual respect. While nomadic women of the past were tasked with physically demanding labor, contemporary Mongolian women now also engage in the arts, learning to dance and sing, adding a new dimension to their strength and character. Mongolian women remain strong and resilient, but it is now their intellectual strength and the toughness of their spirit that captivate visitors. Mongolia itself is renowned not just for its wild natural beauty, but also for the warmth and hospitality of its people. When you greet a Mongolian, expect a smile and, if needed, a willing guide. Should you be invited into their homes, you will be welcomed with a hearty meal featuring goat meat, cheese, and the traditional beverage of horse milk. Given the rich history and evolving roles of Mongolian women, do you think the emphasis on physical strength and resilience in a partner still holds true in modern relationships, or has intellectual and emotional strength become more valued? Share your creative ideas and inspiring plans in the comments below. Number 3. The steppe horses. Mongolia, a land steeped in tradition and vast landscapes, is renowned for the thunderous sound of hooves across its sweeping steppes, home to the largest herds of wild horses on Earth. Among these, the Mongolian wild horse, globally recognized as the Peugeot Valskis horse, stands as a proud symbol of the nation's rich fauna. This extraordinary breed was first discovered in the desert regions around the year 1880, and remarkably, all the wild Mongolian horses alive today descend from just 9 of the 31 horses that were preserved in the year 1945. This preservation effort was a collaboration between the Zoological Society of London and Mongolian researchers, dedicated to saving this remarkable species. Thanks to these successful breeding programs, within just 50 years the population of wild Mongolian horses was restored to approximately 1,500. These horses, among the most famous war horses in history, possess a well-balanced body, broad chest, slim belly, and 4 sturdy legs, typically showcasing a reddish-brown or dark brown coat. An adult wild Mongolian horse typically weighs between 500 and 650 pounds, stands about 4 feet 3 inches tall, and measures roughly 6.5 feet in length. Trained by the unforgiving weather conditions of Mongolia, these horses boast exceptional endurance and can run at impressive speeds. They are capable of detecting danger from nearly 1,000 feet away and can sprint away at speeds of up to 37 miles per hour. However, since the year 1960, this rare species has been classified as endangered in the Red Book, and today Visit Nauru National Park in Mongolia is home to the largest population of these wild horses, with around 300 individuals. Just as the Mongolian wild horse symbolizes the raw power and endurance of the steppe, the Golden Eagle Festival showcases the deep connection between the Mongolian people and the untamed beauty of their land, where both horse and eagle play central roles in a tradition that has captivated the world. Number 4. Golden Eagle Festival. One of the most eagerly awaited events in Mongolia each year is the Golden Eagle Festival, celebrated by the Kazakh people. This festival offers nature enthusiasts a rare chance to witness dozens of majestic golden eagles soaring over the vast Mongolian steppe. Held annually on the first weekend of October, this unique event is organized by the Mongolian Eagle Hunters Association. In the expansive outdoors, hunters gather to showcase their skill and the incredible speed and precision of their tamed eagles. The Golden Eagle Festival gained international fame after being featured in the acclaimed documentary The Eagle Huntress in the year 2016. This captivating festival has since captured global attention, often hailed as one of the most extraordinary and wildest celebrations on the planet. The sight of young men galloping across the steppe on wild horses, with powerful golden eagles perched on their arms, has become a symbol of Mongolian pride. It highlights the strength and skill of the nomadic people, capable of taming both the wildest horses and these formidable birds of prey. Before we continue, I have a 10-second request for all of you. If you can help us out, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot to us. In return, we promise to keep making this show even better for you. Deal? Number 5. Camel Taming Ceremony. In Mongolia's Gobi Desert, the largest population of 2-humped camels thrives, perfectly adapted to the harsh environment. These camels are essential to the nomadic herders, who rely on them for transportation due to their size and endurance. Every March since the year 1997, Mongolia celebrates the Gobi Camel Festival, a 2-day event that honors these remarkable animals with various camel-related competitions. In the year 2016, the festival set a Guinness World Record with over 1,000 camel riders. Beyond this festival, Mongolia is also known for a unique tradition called camel coaxing, recognized by UNESCO in the year 2015 as an intangible cultural heritage. This ritual is vital for orphan baby camels, which often face rejection from their mothers due to the extreme desert conditions. The ritual involves placing the calf near its mother while a herder plays the morinkur, or horsehead fiddle, and sings gentle, ancestral lyrics to encourage the mother to accept her baby. Over time, the bond between them forms, with both the mother and calf often shedding tears. This ancient ritual, highlighted in the year 2013 German documentary, showcases the deep connection between Mongolian nomads and their camels. It serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of patience, love, and the enduring bond between humans and animals. Number 6. Ancient Lake Curve Eskol. Curve Eskol Lake, known as the Sister of Baikal, is a stunning freshwater lake in northwestern Mongolia, close to the Russian border. This lake, located over 1,600 meters above sea level, stretches 136 kilometers long and reaches depths of 262 meters. It holds nearly 70% of Mongolia's freshwater, with water so pure it can be drunk straight from the lake. Kovskol Lake is one of the world's oldest and most pristine lakes, over 2 million years old. Since the year 1992, it has been protected as a national park. The surrounding area offers visitors the chance to explore Mongolia's breathtaking landscapes, including forests, rivers, and mountains, while engaging in activities like horseback riding, bird watching, and discovering nomadic life. The Tisatan, one of Mongolia's last reindeer herding tribes, live in this region, preserving their ancient culture and unique healing rituals. From November to April, the lake freezes completely, turning into a giant ice rink where large ice festivals take place. Here, traditional sports like archery, horseback riding, ice skating, and ice sculpture contests bring the area to life in a winter wonderland. Number 7. Superstition of the Blue Sky. Mongolia, often referred to as the land of the eternal blue sky, is renowned for its vast, clear skies that stretch across the horizon for most of the year. But this moniker isn't just about the weather, it's deeply rooted in ancient shamanistic beliefs that have shaped Mongolian culture for centuries. Central to these beliefs is the worship of the eternal blue sky, known as Tengger, which holds immense spiritual significance for the Mongolian people. One of the most fascinating aspects of Mongolian superstition involves the interpretation of shooting stars. In this culture, a shooting star is seen as an ominous sign, representing the end of a person's life. According to tradition, each star in the sky corresponds to a person's life force, and when one falls, it signifies that the individual's life force has been severed, indicating their impending death. As a protective measure, when a Mongolian spots a shooting star, they often spit and declare, "It's not mine to deflect any bad luck." This belief is just one example of how Mongolians maintain a profound connection with the natural world, where every element is considered a living entity with its spiritual importance. Despite the country's rapid modernization, these ancient customs and superstitions continue to play a significant role in the daily lives of many Mongolians, offering a unique glimpse into a culture where the old and new coexist in harmony. Just as the Mongolian reverence for the eternal blue sky reflects their deep connection to the spiritual world, the practice of sky burials embodies a profound understanding of life's impermanence, merging ancient beliefs with a strikingly practical approach to death that is as awe-inspiring as it is mysterious. Number 8. Sky burials. In Mongolia, the practice of sky burials stands out as both fascinating and unusual. Deeply rooted in Vajrayana Buddhism, this ritual involves leaving the body of the deceased on a mountaintop to be consumed by vultures and other scavengers. The belief is that the body, once lifeless, is simply an empty vessel, and by offering it to the birds, the deceased performs a final act of charity. What makes this practice especially striking is the careful preparation involved. The body is dismembered, and sometimes the bones are crushed and mixed with barley flour to ensure every part is consumed. This ritual is not only spiritually significant but also practical, given Mongolia's harsh terrain, which makes traditional burial difficult and cremation costly. Sky burials align with Buddhist teachings on life's impermanence and the cycle of life and death. offering an environmentally sustainable way to return the body to nature. Number 9. Shamanistic practices. Mongolia has witnessed a remarkable resurgence. Once suppressed under Soviet rule, shamanism has not only re-emerged but become a key part of Mongolian identity and spiritual life. This revival is deeply connected to Mongolia's cultural roots, as many seek to reconnect with their lost heritage. What makes Mongolian shamanism unique is its blend with Buddhism, creating a fascinating spiritual practice known as yellow shamanism. In modern Mongolian society, shamans are not just spiritual figures, they also offer guidance on personal and communal matters, reflecting their importance even in a rapidly modernizing country. However, this revival has also led to the commercialization of shamanism, especially in urban areas like Ulaanbaatar. Practitioners has sparked debates about the authenticity of this ancient practice in the modern world. Number 10. Nomadic yurt living. Mongolia's nomadic yurt living has fascinated people worldwide, offering a glimpse into a way of life deeply rooted in cultural tradition yet remarkably adaptable. These traditional yurts, known locally as gyrs, are marvels of design, crafted to withstand the harsh extremes of the Mongolian steppe. They keep families warm during the freezing winter months and provide a cool refuge during the searing summer heat. The portability of gyrs is ideal for the nomadic lifestyle, allowing herders to swiftly disassemble and relocate their homes as they move with their livestock across the vast landscape. However, the modern migration of many nomads to the formation of extensive gyr districts, these areas face significant challenges, including inadequate infrastructure and severe air pollution, presenting new hurdles for these traditionally resilient homes. Just as the nomadic yurts symbolize the adaptability and resilience of Mongolian life, the enduring worship of sacred mountains reflects a spiritual connection to the land that has withstood the test of time. Blending ancient traditions with a modern sense of national identity and environmental stewardship. Number 11. Traditional worship of sacred mountains. Mongolia's ancient tradition of worshipping sacred mountains continues to astonish the world with its deep cultural significance and remarkable. Rooted in both shamanistic and Buddhist beliefs, these practices regard mountains like Altai Ta Van Bogdi and Burkhan Khaldun as living deities, integral to Mongolia's spiritual and national identity. Even though these rituals were banned during the communist era, they have been revitalized in recent years and are now recognized as part of Mongolia's intangible cultural heritage by UNESCO. What truly captivates global attention is how these ancient customs have not only survived, but also adapted to the modern era. These practices are more than just religious ceremonies, they are powerful expressions of national pride and a deep commitment to environmental stewardship. For instance, some rituals at Altanovu Mountain are reserved exclusively for men and involve traditional competitions that showcase strength and endurance. This unique blend of spirituality, cultural heritage, and environmental awareness highlights Mongolia's profound connection to its ancient roots, making its mountain worship practices a distinctive and powerful symbol on the global stage. Number 12. The Three Manly Games. The Naadam Festival, often called the Three Manly Games, is a remarkable celebration in Mongolia that showcases three ancient sports: wrestling, horse racing, and archery. This festival is a unique blend of Mongolia's rich history and its evolving cultural identity, offering a glimpse into traditions that have endured for centuries. Mongolian wrestling stands out for its lack of weight classes and time limits, truly testing the competitor's raw strength and skill. The sport's traditional attire, which includes an open-chested jacket, originates from a historical event designed to ensure that only men could compete after a woman once entered the competition disguised as a man. Horse racing at Naadam is equally extraordinary. Children as young as 5 years old race over vast distances on semi-wild horses, reflecting Mongolia's deep-rooted nomadic heritage and its profound connection with horses. These young jockeys show incredible bravery and skill as they navigate the challenging terrain. Archery in Naadam is another fascinating aspect. where both men and women compete side by side using traditional Mongolian bows. This sport demands not only strength but also exceptional. Rooted in the era of Genghis Khan, the Naadam Festival is more than just a sporting event. It's a powerful expression of Mongolian culture and national pride. The inclusion of diverse participants ranging from children to women alongside the preservation of ancient customs makes the three motivating cultural phenomena that continue in the world. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. GlobeGo, your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that's appearing on your screen right now. I'm sure you'll love the content. Comment below on the next country you'd like to see featured on our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Did you know that in the year 2019, President Donald Trump tried to buy Greenland? This massive island, about the size of Western Europe, is 80% covered in ice and has the second largest ice sheet after Antarctica. So why is it called Greenland? Viking Eric the Red named it to attract settlers. In today's video, we'll explore Greenland's unique mate-sharing tradition among the Inuit and the island's long, dark nights that can last up to 6 months. Join us as we reveal the secrets of Greenland's culture and breathtaking landscapes. 1. History. Believe it or not, the United States has tried to purchase Greenland more than once. The first attempt was in the year 1867 when the U.S. Secretary of State, after acquiring Alaska from Russia, eyed Greenland. However, no formal offer was made. Greenland was part of the Kingdom of Denmark, with historical ties to the Danish crown. In the year 1979, Denmark granted Greenland autonomy, transferring many powers to its local government. Today, Greenland manages its own foreign affairs. This remote, mysterious land was colonized by Vikings in the 10th century, transforming into a crucial commercial hub and strategic point on North Atlantic sea routes. Throughout history, Greenland has seen various indigenous cultures, like the Inuit, who have thrived in the harsh, challenging environment. Viking rule ended in the 15th century due to climate change, internal conflicts, and diminishing trade routes. Post-Viking, Greenland remained relatively isolated, with the Inuit continuing their traditions of hunting and fishing. In modern times, Greenland has experienced significant changes. It became a Danish territory again in the 18th century, started gaining autonomy in the 1970s, and has increased geopolitical importance due to its strategic Arctic location. If you're fascinated by how historical events shape modern cultures and societies, you'll find it intriguing to explore how the ancient practice of sharing partners among the Inuit in Greenland reflects a community's adaptation to extreme environments. Much like the strategic interest in Greenland's geography that has captivated global powers for centuries. 2. Sharing partners. Inuit culture in Greenland, with its distinctive social customs, has long been intricately tied to the environment and the necessities of a subsistence lifestyle. These practices arose to strengthen community bonds and ensure mutual support during the long, harsh Arctic winters. The extreme environmental conditions of Greenland demanded close-knit communities where cooperation and trust were essential for survival. Sharing partners among families was a method to cement alliances and foster a sense of communal responsibility. Typically, Inuit families lived in homes connected by underground passageways, known as igloos, to enable interaction and mutual support during winter without exposure to the severe conditions outside. This organization promoted collaboration and resource exchange necessary for survival. This practice was more than just a social arrangement, it also had practical benefits. By exchanging wives, families could ensure genetic diversity within the small, isolated communities, reducing the risk of inbreeding. Additionally, this practice facilitated the sharing of resources and labor, which was vital during periods of scarcity. However, this practice is not prevalent in contemporary Greenland and has largely diminished with modernization and changing societal norms. The traditional lifestyle of Greenlandic Inuit, including their customs, has been significantly influenced by external pressures such as climate change and economic development. What do you think about the ancient Inuit practice of sharing partners to strengthen community bonds and ensure survival in the harsh Arctic environment? How does this compare to how we form and maintain our own communities today? Share your thoughts in the comments below. 3. Snow blindness. Imagine trekking all day across snow-covered landscapes, with the sun's intense glare reflecting off the white surface directly into your eyes. Over time, this can lead to a painful condition known as snow blindness. Snow blindness, or photokeratitis, is a common issue in Greenland, where the vast expanses of ice and snow amplify the reflection of ultraviolet rays. This condition is akin to getting a sunburn on your eyes, resulting in symptoms like eye pain, redness, blurred vision, tearing, and temporary vision loss. It can occur after only a few hours of exposure to bright sunlight without proper eye protection. In Greenland, the risk of snow blindness is particularly high due to the harsh summer sun and the abundance of snow. The region's unique climatic conditions, including the presence of the midnight sun during summer, lead to prolonged exposure to ultraviolet radiation. Even during winter, the sun's rays remain potent due to the reflective properties of the snow and ice. This makes snow blindness a significant concern for anyone spending extended periods in these reflective environments. 4. The polar night. If you're planning a trip to Greenland, you'll encounter a fascinating natural phenomenon known as the polar night. To put it simply, this is a period of up to 6 months where the sun never rises in the northernmost regions. During this time, the absence of sunlight is almost complete, with only a few hours of dim light around midday. The polar night occurs due to Earth's axial tilt of approximately 23.5 degrees, which causes the Arctic Circle to lean away from the sun during the winter months. As a result, areas within the Arctic Circle, including northern Greenland, are enveloped in darkness for extended periods. In Canoe and other northern parts of Greenland, the polar night is not characterized by total darkness right away. Initially, in October and November, there are periods of twilight when the sun hovers just below the horizon, providing some natural light during the day. However, as December approaches, the darkness becomes more profound, leading to true polar night conditions where there is no sunlight at all. This prolonged darkness can significantly impact the physical and mental health of the residents. Seasonal affective disorder, commonly referred to as SAD, is prevalent due to the lack of sunlight. Light therapy is often used to mitigate its symptoms. Despite these challenges, the resilient people of Greenland have adapted to these extreme conditions, finding ways to stay active and engaged throughout the long months of darkness. Before we continue, I have a 10-second request for all of you. If you can help us out, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot to us. In return, we promise to keep making this show even better for you. Deal? 5. Cultural coexistence. In Greenland, the coexistence of Inuit and Danish cultures creates a unique and fascinating blend. As an autonomous territory within the Kingdom of Denmark, Greenland showcases a remarkable fusion of traditions and customs from both cultures. The Inuit culture, rooted in the indigenous inhabitants of Greenland, is characterized by a profound respect for nature, a deep connection to the environment, and a nomadic lifestyle. The Inuit have developed unique skills for surviving in the extreme Arctic conditions, such as seal and whale hunting, ice fishing, and igloo building. Their language, Inuktitut, is one of Greenland's official languages and remains widely spoken by many of its residents. On the other hand, Danish culture has significantly influenced Greenland, particularly during the colonial period. The Danes introduced Christianity, Western education, and political administration to the island. Despite Greenland's autonomy, Danish influence is still evident in daily life, architecture, and cuisine. This blend of two distinct cultures has enriched Greenland's diversity. Greenland's National Day is celebrated in June, honoring the territory's autonomy and unique cultural identity. The vibrant cultural scene features Inuit music, art, and crafts alongside Danish literature, music, and cuisine. The fascinating blend of Inuit and Danish influences creates a rich tapestry of life on this giant island, where the traditions of two very different worlds come together. 6. Largest national park. Greenland is home to the world's largest national park and spans over 972,000 square kilometers, 300 square. Established on May 22, 1974, and expanded to its current size in the year 1988, encompassing the entire northeastern part of Greenland. To give you an idea of its immense size, this park is larger than most countries. Northeast Greenland National Park boasts a stunning array of landscapes, from expansive ice sheets and rugged mountains to extensive fjords. About 80% of the park is permanently covered by ice, shaping its climate and ecosystem. Despite these harsh conditions, the northern and southern coasts enjoy relatively sunny weather during the summer months, earning the northernmost tip the nickname Arctic Riviera. There are no permanent human settlements within the park, but it hosts several research and military stations that operate year-round. The Zackenberg Research Station and the headquarters of the Sirius Patrol, an elite Danish military unit tasked with patrolling and maintaining sovereignty over this remote part of Greenland. During the summer, the park sees an influx of scientists and the occasional tourists, mainly arriving on cruise ships. The park also holds significant archaeological sites from both Paleo-Inuit and Neo-Inuit cultures. The cold climate has well-preserved remnants of these ancient civilizations, such as tent rings and tools, offering valuable insights into early human habitation and adaptation strategies in the Arctic environment. If the thought of exploring a national park larger than most countries intrigues you, wait until you hear about the fascinating wildlife that calls Greenland home to its extreme Arctic environment. 7. Diverse fauna. Greenland's wildlife is remarkably diverse and uniquely adapted to its extreme Arctic environment. The island is home to iconic large mammals like polar bears, musk oxen, Arctic foxes, and seals. These creatures are perfectly equipped to survive in harsh conditions characterized by relentless cold and scarce resources. Greenland also boasts a rich variety of seabirds such as puffins, guillemots, and Arctic terns, making it an ideal nesting and breeding ground. The surrounding waters are teeming with marine life, including numerous species of fish, whales, and seals, serving as a vital hub for migratory species. On land, you'll find polar bears predominantly along the northeastern coast, where they rely on sea ice to hunt seals. Arctic foxes are widespread across the island, preying on lemmings and birds. Musk oxen thrive in the western regions, while reindeer, moving in large herds, play a significant role in local hunting traditions. The marine ecosystem is rich with seals, such as ringed, harp, and hooded seals, as well as majestic whales like humpbacks and narwhals. Walruses are primarily found in the northern and eastern waters. Greenland's bird life is equally impressive, featuring species like the white-tailed eagle, rock ptarmigan, Atlantic puffin, and northern fulmar. These birds, along with the island's marine and land mammals, are deeply ingrained in Greenlandic culture, subsistence, and biodiversity, highlighting their significance beyond just their ecological presence. 8. Extreme races. Greenland is home to some of the most extreme races in the world, set against its rugged and breathtaking landscapes. One of the most notable is the Arctic Circle Race, renowned as the toughest ski competition on the planet. This 3-day, 60-kilometer event tests the fitness, endurance, and courage of cross-country skiers. Competitors face the challenge of camping and cooking for themselves over 2 nights, often enduring temperatures below -20 degrees Celsius. Another grueling event is the Nuuk Marathon, considered one of the toughest urban marathons globally. Marathon enthusiasts can also participate in races across various locations in Greenland, including the Arctic Circle Marathon in Kangerlussuaq, also known as the Polar Circle Marathon. We have already highlighted the races in Sisimiut and Qaqortoq, and for those seeking shorter challenges, Greenland offers numerous shorter race options. If you find the adrenaline rush of Greenland's extreme races captivating, you'll be equally fascinated by the dramatic changes happening to its ice sheets, a phenomenon that's reshaping the island and impacting global sea levels at an alarming rate. Stay tuned. 9. Melting ice sheets. Greenland's ice is disappearing at a startling rate, losing around 270 billion tons each year. This loss significantly contributes to the global rise in sea levels, accounting for approximately 35% of the increase. The melting seasons in Greenland have become more intense and start earlier than in previous decades. For instance, the year 2024 season began sooner and exhibited higher levels of melting compared to the 1980s and 1990s. As the ice retreats, it exposes bedrock and vegetation, which absorb more solar energy than ice, accelerating the melting process even further. This phenomenon impacts not just global sea levels but also disrupts local ecosystems and indigenous practices that rely on the land and ice. Scientists monitor these changes using satellite data from missions like NASA's Gravity Recovery and Climate Experiment, or GRACE, highlighting the urgent need for climate action to address these effects. 10. Cuisine. Greenlandic cuisine is a true culinary treasure, reflecting the local culture and traditions through its emphasis on native ingredients such as seal meat, whale, reindeer, fish, and fresh seafood. One of the most popular dishes in Greenland is kiviak, a traditional delicacy made by fermenting seabirds in seal skin for several months. While this may sound unusual to some, it is highly appreciated by the locals and is considered a true delicacy. Hunting and fishing are essential activities for life in Greenland, making fresh meat and fish crucial components of the local diet. Another iconic dish of Greenlandic cuisine is suesat, a hearty stew made with reindeer or muskox meat, vegetables, and aromatic herbs. This dish is slow-cooked to enhance the flavors and tenderness of the meat, creating a comforting and flavorful meal. 11. Oldest rocks on Earth. The oldest rocks on Earth, found in Greenland, offer an incredible window into the early history of our planet. These ancient formations are mainly located in the Ishua supracrustal belt in southwestern Greenland. The rocks here are estimated to be around 3.7 to 3.8 billion years old, making them some of the oldest known on the planet. Researchers from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute have extensively studied these formations. They used uranium lead dating to confirm their age and examined the preserved magnetic signatures in the iron oxide minerals. These signatures indicate that Earth's magnetic field, though weaker, has been relatively stable over billions of years. Another remarkable site is Akelia Island, where scientists have proposed the existence of sedimentary rocks that might contain the oldest evidence of life on Earth. These rocks are also approximately 3.8 billion years old and have been the focus of significant scientific debate and research. If the ancient rocks of Greenland offer a glimpse into the Earth's earliest days, the current plight of polar bears provides a stark reminder of the urgent environmental challenges we face today, revealing the fragile balance between our planet's history and its future. 12. Polar bears and climate change. In Greenland, polar bears are facing significant challenges due to climate change. The melting Arctic sea ice, which these majestic creatures rely on to hunt seals, their primary food source, is disappearing rapidly as temperatures rise. This reduction in sea ice is forcing polar bears to adapt in unprecedented ways or face severe survival challenges. One remarkable adaptation has been observed in a distinct group of polar bears in southeast Greenland. These bears have learned to survive despite being cut off from sea ice for most of the year. They use freshwater ice slabs that break off from the Greenland ice sheet and coastal glaciers, allowing them to hunt seals from these floating chunks of glacier ice. This behavior provides a rare and temporary refuge amidst the broader climate crisis. However, this adaptation is unique to southeast Greenland and is not feasible for polar bear populations across the Arctic. Despite these adaptive behaviors, the future for polar bears remains bleak if global warming continues at its current pace. A recent study by the University of Washington and polar bears' international links greenhouse gas emissions directly to declining polar bear populations. The study predicts that without significant reductions in these emissions, polar bears will continue to lose their habitat, leading to further declines in their numbers. This research underscores the urgent need for policies aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions to protect polar bears and other species affected by climate change. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. GlobeGo, your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that's appearing on your screen right now. I'm sure you'll love the content. Comment below on the next country you'd like to see featured on our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. In the middle of the Pacific Ocean lies a tiny island nation called Nauru. It's just 8 square miles in size, but don't let its small size fool you. The uneven number of men and women here has created a unique social scene. What does this mean for single men? It means that many single women are looking for someone just like you. But why is it this way? To understand, we need to look deeper into Nauru. Number 1. Nauruan women's beauty. Nauruan women live in a world of their own, filled with warmth, grace, and resilience. They embody the spirit of Nauru, strong and determined, making any visit home. Famous for their hospitality, they greet visitors with open arms and genuine smiles, creating a home away from home. Nauruan women often have plump bodies and prominent, thick, black hair to wavy. Their dark brown, almond-shaped eyes give them a striking and expressive appearance. Their warm, golden brown skin is often smooth and radiant, reflecting their island lifestyle and mixed Polynesian heritage. Beyond homemaking, Nauruan women are pillars of strength and knowledge. Education is highly valued, and many pursue higher learning with dreams beyond the island. Fluent in Nauruan and English, they often excel in traditional dances and music, vital to their cultural identity. Sports like weightlifting and athletics keep them healthy and active. Despite their strength and ambition, there is a yearning for companionship among Nauruan women. With a population of just over 10,000 people and a gender ratio favoring women, Nauru's women significantly outnumber men. This has led to a unique cultural phenomenon: thousands of single women waiting, hoping and dreaming of finding love. Take Lani, a highly educated woman with a degree in environmental science. Despite her academic achievements, she returned to Nauru, driven by her love for her homeland and desire to preserve it. Yet, like many Nauruan women, Lani faces a paradox: successful and independent but longing for companionship. This blend of strength and vulnerability, ambition and desire, makes Nauruan women fascinating. They are the backbone of Nauru, preserving its traditions and shaping its future, yet they stand at a crossroads, caught between their aspiration for love and grace, and are truly the heart of this island. So have you been attracted by the beauty of Nauruan women? What would you do if you found yourself on an island with 1,000 single women? Comment below with your fantasies. Number 2. On dating. So what's dating like on an island full of single women? Let's take a peek behind the palm fronds. The dating scene in Nauru is as unique as the island itself, blending cultural traditions with modern influences. It's where the old world meets the new, as rhythmic as ocean waves on coral shores. Imagine a place where men are outnumbered by women, and the ladies are not just beautiful but also intelligent, warm, and welcoming. That's Nauru. But don't expect it to be easy. Nauruan women have high standards, valuing respect, honesty, and a good sense of humor. We've heard stories from men who visited Nauru. One man was invited to a local feast and introduced to many potential partners, surprised by the women's forwardness and sincerity. Another recalled being serenaded under a starlit sky by women harmonizing with a ukulele. But there are challenges. Nauru is a small island where everyone knows everyone, so your dating life can quickly become public knowledge. Navigating this social landscape requires tact and respect. However, the rewards are worth it. Dating in Nauru offers a chance to connect with someone from a vastly different culture, learn, grow, and experience love in a new way. Dating is a journey of discovery, finding someone who complements your life and enriches your experiences. And where better to start this adventure than an island where women outnumber men? Dating in Nauru could change your life forever. Are you ready to embark on this journey? If yes, let's dive into planning your trip to this island of opportunities. Embarking on a romantic journey in Nauru is one aspect, but understanding the practicalities of living there is equally important. Number 3. Cost of living. As for living costs in the year 2024, monthly expenses are about $920 to $1,740. This includes general living costs and is about 1.4 times cheaper than the global average. Renting a one-bedroom apartment costs between $300 and $600. Utilities like electricity, heating, cooling, water, and trash range from $100 to $150. Public transportation is minimal because the island is small, so most people walk or cycle. Groceries cost between $250 and $400, and eating out occasionally is about $100 to $150. These costs can vary depending on lifestyle choices and the availability of certain goods and services, as Nauru has limited infrastructure and relies on imports. Number 4. Overview. Nestled in the vast Pacific Ocean, Nauru is a tiny gem with just 21 square kilometers of wonder. As the world's smallest island nation, it offers experiences found nowhere else. Though Nauru lacks the variety of tourist spots seen elsewhere, it promises unique and unforgettable adventures with its pristine beaches, clear waters, dense tropical forests, and rolling hills. So compact that you can drive around this bean-shaped island in 30 minutes or walk it in less than a day. With around 10,000 residents, Nauru greets over 800 visitors each year with enthusiastic hospitality and bright smiles. Since gaining independence in the year 1968, Nauru has built a charm all its own, despite having no rivers or World Heritage sites. The island has 19 miles of roads and 2.5 miles of old railway tracks from its phosphate mining days in the year 1920. Ever wondered about the weather? Nauru's climate is a tropical dream. Nauru's warm, tropical climate boasts distinct dry and rainy seasons, keeping temperatures between 77 and 86 degrees Fahrenheit year-round. Coastal breezes offer relief from inland heat during the dry months, making it a paradise for beachgoers and adventurers. Experience Nauru's vibrant festivals, unique culture, and distinctive cuisine, all wrapped in the warmth of its people's smiles and hospitality. Number 5. Nightlife. Nauru, a small island nation in the Pacific Ocean, is not particularly known for its vibrant nightlife. Unlike more popular tourist destinations, Nauru's nightlife is relatively quiet and low-key, reflecting the island's tranquil and laid-back atmosphere. The few nightlife options available are concentrated in hotels and local bars where visitors can enjoy a relaxed evening with drinks and music. One of the most popular spots is the Bayview Hotel, which hosts a bar frequented by visitors for its laid-back atmosphere and occasional live music events. Social gatherings often revolve around family and community events rather than traditional nightlife. This subdued scene aligns with the island's overall peaceful and relaxed lifestyle, making it an attractive destination for those seeking tranquility over bustling nightlife. However, beyond the quiet nights, Nauru's real charm lies in its rich and captivating culture. Before you go in, if you could help me out, it just takes 10 seconds to hit that subscribe button. In return, we promise to continue making the show even better for you. Agree? Number 6. Culture, tradition. Naua's culture is mesmerizing. Nauran, the official language, is a melodious symphony reflecting the island's rich heritage. But don't worry, English is widely spoken, so you can easily communicate. The Nauru people are deeply rooted in their customs. One tradition is taba, a communal feast where everyone shares dishes, creating a sense of community and camaraderie. Don't miss a taba feast, it's a culinary and social experience like no other. Nauru hosts vibrant festivals, with Sangam Day being the most notable. This celebration of survival and resilience includes feasting, dancing and storytelling, honoring ancestors who overcame adversity. The spirit of Sangam Day is infectious and captures the resilient spirit of the Nauru people. Unique customs make Nauru truly fascinating. For example, Nauruan women propose to men, flipping traditional gender roles. The national anthem is a poetic tribute to the island's beauty and the spirit of its people, sung with pride and enthusiasm. Traditional dance, known as ET, is performed at cultural events, accompanied by drums and chants. Weaving, mainly practiced by women, produces mats, baskets, and other items from local materials like pandan leaves. Christianity, predominantly Protestantism and Roman Catholicism, plays a vital role in community life. Despite this, traditional beliefs related to nature and ancestral spirits persist. Nauru is more than just an island, it's a cultural treasure waiting to be discovered. Pack your bags and open your mind to an island that challenges stereotypes and offers a unique cultural experience. Now, let's meet the women who make Nauru truly special. Number 7. Cuisine. Fishing is the heartbeat of life on Nauru, deeply woven into its culture and traditions. Using age-old methods, locals catch young milkfish, raising them in brackish water ponds and lagoons. This practice not only sustains the island's food supply but also preserves its rich heritage. For culinary explorers, Nauru offers an array of fresh, unique seafood dishes. The island's waters teem with diverse marine life, from tuna and grouper to lobster, crab, and octopus, all prepared in delightful ways: grilled, steamed, boiled, stir-fried, and braised. A must-try is coconut fish, where fresh fish is marinated in coconut milk, wrapped in banana leaves, and then grilled or steamed. The delicate sweetness of the fish melds perfectly with the rich coconut milk and the subtle fragrance of banana leaves, creating an exquisite taste. Other delights include tuna sashimi, grilled lobster, taro leaf salami cooked with coconut milk, and chicken or fish dishes. Gaga, an octopus dish cooked with coconut, ginger, onions, and tomatoes, is another highlight. For dessert, indulge in a banana coconut toddy, made from bananas, coconut, and toddy, a fermented coconut sap beverage. Nauruan cuisine is more than just food, it's a vibrant expression of the island's culture and history, with each dish narrating a story of traditional values and local pride. Number 8. Obesity rate. Nauru, a tiny Pacific island nation, has the world's highest obesity rate, with more than 9 out of 10 adults overweight or obese. This alarming statistic endangers the well-being and life expectancy of the Nauru people. Unhealthy eating habits dominate, with diets full of processed foods, sweets and sugary drinks, and lacking vegetables, fruits, and fish. A sedentary lifestyle exacerbates the problem. Many Naurans work in phosphate mining, a job requiring little physical activity. Personal vehicles and leisure activities like TV and video games further reduce physical movement. This combination of poor diet and inactivity leads to severe health issues, including cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, hypertension, and cancer, which in turn strain Nauru's healthcare system. Alcohol and tobacco abuse add to the public health crisis, causing kidney problems, circulatory disorders, and diabetes. Malnutrition persists, despite widespread obesity, as some Naurans lack essential micronutrients. Poor sanitation and limited access to clean water heighten vulnerability to infectious diseases like diarrhea and malaria. The Nauran government is fighting back, promoting nutritional education and encouraging physical exercise. Yet overcoming obesity demands a united effort from both the government and the people. Only with long-term changes in diet and lifestyle can Nauru hope for a healthier and happier future. Despite the severe health challenges, Nauru's past tells a different story of prosperity and high living standards. Number 9. History. In the early 1980s, Nauru boasted the highest GDP in the world. But by the year 2017, it had become one of the poorest countries. This dramatic decline stemmed from the island's dependence on phosphate mines formed from seabird droppings over millions of years. Phosphate, essential for fertilizers and chemicals, attracted big mining companies in the early 20th century. Nauru began mining in the 1930s, generating immense wealth. During this golden era, Nauruans enjoyed a high standard of living with free healthcare, education, and welfare services. By the 1970s, Nauru had the highest GDP per person globally. The government used phosphate profits to buy expensive real estate, both locally and internationally, and invested in luxury goods and risky business ventures. But prosperity came at a high cost. However, reckless phosphate mining polluted the environment and devastated natural landscapes. Worse, Nauru failed to invest in other economic sectors. When phosphate reserves dwindled in the 1990s, the economy collapsed. Unemployment soared, infrastructure crumbled, healthcare deteriorated, and crime rates rose. Mismanagement and waste led to severe hardships for the people of Nauru. Unlike most countries, Nauru has no official capital. Yaren, a district with government offices and the international airport, serves as the de facto capital. Nauru has no army and relies on Australia for security, but it does have police, fire stations, banks, and schools. The University of the South Pacific has a campus here, supporting regional education. Nauruans are known for their friendliness, cheerfulness, and patriotism. The island's 4 cities are Menang, Yaren, Buada, and Anabar, with Yaren being the largest and acting as the administrative center. Number 10. Railway. The Nauru Railway, once a proud emblem of this small island nation, now lives on only in memories and old photographs. Though its lifespan was brief, this railway played a pivotal role in Nauru's economic and social development. Constructed in the year 1907 by the British Phosphate Mining Company, the Nauru Railway stretched over 15.5 kilometers and was instrumental in transporting phosphate ore from the mines to the harbor. The railway featured 2 main tracks, a branch line, and several stations for refueling and loading or unloading goods. For over 80 years, the Nauru Railway contributed significantly to the island's economic growth. During its peak, Nauru was among the wealthiest countries globally, thanks to its booming phosphate mining industry. However, this industry began to decline in the year 1990s, leading to the railway's closure in the year 1998. Today, remnants of the railway tracks and stations can still be found on Nauru, standing as silent witnesses to a bygone era when the island was a bustling hub of phosphate mining. These relics are not just historical artifacts, they symbolize Nauru's rapid economic development in the 20th century and the subsequent challenges the nation faced after the decline of the phosphate industry. Preserving these relics is crucial for maintaining the island's rich history and culture, serving as a poignant reminder to future generations of the impacts of natural resource exploitation on the environment and society. Before you can explore the historical remnants of the once thriving Nauru Railway and delve into the island's rich past, you must navigate the specific visa requirements and travel arrangements necessary to reach this secluded Pacific paradise. Number 11. Visa. Traveling to Nauru, a small island nation in Micronesia, requires careful planning due to its limited flight connections and specific visa requirements. The primary way to reach Nauru is by air, with Nauru Airlines providing the most direct route. Flights are available from Brisbane, Australia, as well as connections from Fiji and Kiribati. Visitors to Nauru must obtain a visa prior to arrival, as visas on arrival are not issued. The visa application process involves submitting a completed application form, a passport-size photograph, a valid passport, and proof of onward travel. Applications can be submitted to Nauru's consulate or embassy, or via email to the Directorate of Immigration. It is essential to ensure all documentation is accurate and complete to avoid delays or rejections. Number 12. Advice. Ever heard of Nauru? This tiny island nation in the Pacific Ocean, though rarely visited, offers a unique culture and countless intriguing experiences. If you're seeking a distinctive and memorable adventure, Nauru is your destination. Nauru's vibrant local markets are bustling with restaurants, shops, and supermarkets. However, since most goods are imported, prices are high. Bring cash, as there are only a few ATMs and they often run out of money. When it comes to accommodations, Nauru caters to every budget, from luxury resorts to cozy guest houses. 3 welcoming hotels, Chappelle Partners, AA Lodge, and Menon Hotel offer warm receptions and comfortable stays. Despite its small size, Nauru is packed with attractions. Explore the mysterious Mokua Caves, relax at the tranquil Anabar Bay, or enjoy the picturesque Bee Lagoon. Nature has blessed Nauru with beauty and charm, ensuring an unforgettable experience. And finally, a few tips for meeting Nauruan women. Nauruan women, deeply rooted in their culture and traditions, are not just beautiful but also value respect and understanding. Learn a few phrases in Nauruan, show interest in their customs, and be yourself. Authenticity and good humor are always appreciated. If you like today's video, please give me a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel GlobeGo. Your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that appears on your screen now. I am sure you will like this content. Comment below with the next country you'd like to see featured on our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time. What happens when a small island that was once one of the richest places on Earth becomes nearly forgotten, now facing the highest obesity rates globally and using its airport runway as a makeshift track for daily exercise? Nauru, officially the least visited country in the world,